Today, we're going to dive into a really crucial part of the hotel experience, one that happens mostly behind the scenes: allocating guest rooms. We'll get into everything from the standard day-to-day procedures to the art of a great upgrade, and even how to handle the delicate task of a downgrade. Mastering this is absolutely key to creating an excellent guest experience.
So, let's kick things off with a question for you. What do you think is the very first thing that makes an impression when a guest walks into a hotel? Is it the beautiful lobby? The friendly doorman? Maybe that signature scent you've carefully chosen?
Well, while all of those things are definitely important, the real first impression is all about fulfilling a promise. It's the promise of a perfect, personal sanctuary for their stay. And that experience, it doesn't just start when they slide the keycard in the door. It begins the moment we start thoughtfully allocating their room.
To get that right, we have to nail the fundamentals. So let's jump into our first section, standard room allocation. Think of this as the bedrock, the foundation of true service excellence.
The process itself is a pretty straightforward three-step flow. First, you're going to do a thorough review of all the reservation details. Next, and this is so important, you'll coordinate with housekeeping to confirm the room is 100% ready. This step prevents that nightmare scenario where a guest walks into a room that's not prepared. And finally, you pre-assign the room in the property management system, the PMS, to lock it in so it's waiting for them the second they arrive.
In that first step, reviewing the details goes so much deeper than just the room type. We're talking about the guest's specific preferences. Do they need a king bed or two twins? Do they love a high floor with a city view? Or maybe they want to be far away from the elevator? This is where personalization really begins.
This quote just says it all, doesn't it? It perfectly captures the why behind all this detail. When you remember and honor a returning guest preference for a certain view, you're not just completing a task, you're sending a message, loud and clear. We remember you and we value you. It's these small, thoughtful gestures that build real, lasting loyalty.
So, when you boil it all down, a successful standard allocation really comes down to two key things: accuracy in meeting every request, and anticipation of what will take their stay from just good to absolutely perfect.
Okay, now that we've got the essentials down, let's talk about taking the guest experience to the next level. This brings us to the art of the upgrade, which is such a fantastic opportunity to create one of those memorable wow moments.
Now, upgrades are a powerful, strategic tool. They're perfect for recognizing your VIPs and loyal program members, or for helping a guest celebrate a special occasion. And they can be an incredible service recovery gesture. Just think about it. If something has gone wrong, an unexpected upgrade can completely flip the script, turning a negative moment into a surprisingly positive memory of your hotel. But of course, upgrades need a clear internal process. First things first, you always need approval from the front office manager or duty manager. Once you have that, it's crucial to update the PMS right away and then notify all the other departments. This isn't just bureaucracy. It's about making sure the entire team can deliver on that new, elevated promise to the guest.
And listen, the way you tell the guest about the upgrade is almost as important as the upgrade itself. When you deliver the news with genuine pride and enthusiasm, just like in this example, you're transforming a simple room change into a personal gift. It makes the guest feel truly special.
All right, now we have to talk about the most challenging scenario, the one that is a true test of our professionalism: handling a downgrade. This is where exceptional service skills really have a chance to shine.
And let's be really clear. Downgrades are always a last resort. They almost always happen because of something unforeseen, like an emergency maintenance issue, a really complex overbooking situation, or a room that has to be taken out of service at the last minute.
Okay, this part is incredibly important because your response can make or break the entire guest experience. You have to be transparent, you must offer a sincere apology, and provide an approved form of compensation. What you never do is blame other people, make promises you can't keep, or argue with the guest. In these moments, empathy is your most valuable tool.
So, after you've resolved the situation with the guest, there is one last vital step: documentation. Recording the entire incident is essential for internal audits, for tracking guest relations, and maybe most importantly, for learning from it so we can prevent it from happening again.
This quote really just sums it all up, doesn't it? A negative situation doesn't have to end in a negative experience. The way you handle it, with integrity, respect, and genuine care, can actually reinforce a guest's positive perception of your hotel's commitment to service. So, We've walked through standard allocations, the excitement of upgrades, and the challenge of downgrades. Now, let's pull it all together and distill it into a few key takeaways for guest satisfaction.
No matter what the situation is, these 4 principles should be your guide. Always be proactive, communicate with absolute clarity, prioritize the guest's comfort and a sense of fairness above all else, and coordinate effectively as a team because exceptional service is always a collective effort.
The bottom line is this: room allocation is so much more than just a logistical task. It is the first and often the most significant way a guest experiences your promise of hospitality. Every single choice you make has a direct impact on their entire stay.
And that leaves us with one final thought. As your next guest walks through the door, reservation in hand, how are you going to use these principles to make their first impression not just a good one, but one that truly lasts? Thanks for listening.